Zelensky bad news. Do Putin's revenge strikes make any strategic sense? Professional opinions. Experts tell Newsweek that Russia's retaliatory strikes in Ukraine suggest President Vladimir Putin feels like lashing out, but are also planned to achieve the Kremlin's strategic goals. After accusing Ukraine of coordinating strikes on Moscow and other critical facilities, Russia has repeatedly attacked Ukraine with missile and drone barrages. Analysts believe the Kremlin wants strategic, military, and political advantages from the strikes, and perhaps even a measure of vengeance. On Monday morning, Russia's defense ministry said that Ukrainian drones had launched 2 attacks on Moscow before being shot down by electronic warfare. The government also said that a third unarmed, helicopter-type, drone had landed in a cemetery west of Moscow. There were no reported deaths or any property damage, the statement read. 2 commercial structures were affected. The Russian Foreign Ministry reported on Monday that 17 drones had struck targets on the occupied Crimean Peninsula. The Russian side reserves the right to take tough retaliatory measures, the ministry added. The drone assaults on Moscow on Monday were blamed by Ukrainian authorities. There will definitely be a retaliation to Russian terrorists, as President Volodymyr Zelensky promised after a barrage of missiles hit the city of Odessa early on a Sunday. Moscow said the Odessa missiles were a retaliation strike for an alleged Ukrainian drone attack on the Kerch Bridge, which connects Crimea to the Russian mainland. According to former Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister Olha Stefanishyna's interview with Newsweek, the attack on Odessa was both an act of revenge for the July 17 attacks on the Kerch Bridge and an attempt to destroy infrastructure in the Black Sea city. According to Frederik Mertens, a strategic analyst at the Hague Center for Strategic Studies in the Netherlands, President Putin may feel like lashing out following attacks on the Russian capital or Crimea, and he has proved he has few compunctions about the use of violence. However, experts think Russia's perception of the reprisal strikes is likely to be multifaceted. Marina Myron, a postdoctoral researcher in the Department of War Studies at King's College London, argues that although Russia cannot deploy its nuclear weapons stockpiles to reply to Ukrainian strikes, it must nevertheless find a manner of countering them so that it does not lose credibility. Myron told Newsweek, there is a need to do something, suggesting increased cruise missile strikes. Russia does not need an excuse to strike them, she continued, but if it does without a good reason, it will not have many options left to respond should there be something worth responding to, because, as stated, the nuclear threat has lost its deterrent power. Days after Russia abandoned an agreement that allowed Ukraine to ship grain out of Black Sea ports like Odessa, the country launched a series of strikes in retaliation. The accord is critical for preventing widespread hunger around the world. After the deal's expiration on July 17, Moscow came under heavy fire for failing to renew it. On July 24, the regional governor of Odessa, Ole Kuiper, announced on Telegram that Russia had destroyed a grain storage facility using drones built in Iran under the name of Shahed.